It is time to go live. All right, guys, Tuesday night. It's a little after 8. I'm a couple minutes late. That's okay. Have I ever been on time? I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. Dr. Sobrato, what's going on? Pumpkin Patch, what's going on? Little Bitty Star, what's going on? Judy, hey, what's going on? Fresh Face for you. How's it doing on Instagram? All right, guys, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. Usually this is question and answer time. So I want you guys to answer questions. If you don't answer questions, then I will start rambling and we have no idea what that means or where we're going to end up if I start rambling about things. All right. So hopefully you guys have had a great weekend. It's a long weekend for some of you. You heard Coach Nat and I talk about our recap for being on the cruise last week. Was it last week? The week before last week? It's been a week since. So 2 weeks ago. God, that time flies so fast. Lots of cool things happening from there. Sent out a bunch of messages to people that we networked with and got some collaboration ideas from and things like that. Actually, just got off of a podcast interview I did with Debbie Potts, the low carb athlete. We talked about low carb athletics, how to do endurance training, endurance sports activities as a low carb athlete, the difference between being ketogenic and following a ketogenic lifestyle when you are dealing with metabolic dysfunction versus when you've gotten healthy and now you're looking to improve athletic performance. So fixing metabolic function and improving metabolic performance are two different things. That doesn't mean, this is the really cool thing about it, guys. If you get my book, you'll see this goes through that, the theme goes through that book. It's also in the book I'm working on. So I'm working on my third book. This is very heavy in that book. The principles of what we do to improve our health don't change, period. The things that we're looking to do, the goals, the experiences, and all that kind of stuff, they can change. That doesn't change the principles. How we implement those principles in our lives is where the difference comes into play, not the principles themselves, okay? So that's how that works, right? The principles of time, the clock, don't change, but you can decide if you want to use standard time or military time. Right? You can decide if you want a clock that's got numbers or a clock that has hands. You can change how you interact with those principles, but the principles don't change. Okay. That's the same thing works in exercise, nutrition, and everything. Okay. Everything is everything. That's something Coach Nat and I like to say. If you learn a concept in one area, very likely that concept is going to show up in other areas of your life. All right. We got our first question of the evening. All right. Lori E., can you explain zone 2 exercise and how to best use it? Okay, there's a few things that go on here when we talk about zone 2 exercise. Zone 2 exercise is basically, we call it steady state cardio, conversational cardio. It's that low level of effort where you're continually working. It's optimal fat burning, optimal fat oxidation, best fat burning zone, right? Bull crap. That's what I'm going to say for that. Okay. Yeah, it can be an optimal fat burning zone. That doesn't mean you don't burn fat doing other things. All right. Now, here's the thing. Transferability is a concept that I want everyone to think about. And another way to phrase transferability is best bang for your buck. Okay. If you are looking to improve how your body actually works, metabolic function, then you want to do the things that are going to get you the most improvement in the fastest amount of time with the least amount of effort and complexity. Okay. Just doing zone 2 training is one component out of 30 that you need to address in order to improve your metabolic performance and health. Okay. So if we're looking at zone 2 training, is it something that we need to do? Absolutely. There is a component within zone 2 training that is beneficial to your overall health. Okay. I like to use zone 2 training in a recovery situation or in a warm-up situation, not as the actual training, because it doesn't provide enough stimulus in enough areas to have an impact on your metabolic function. It really doesn't. Okay. It can be great. It helps improve your body's ability to oxidize fat. Great. Okay, you know what else does? Lifting weights, sprinting, high intensity interval training. Okay, there's a lot of other things that do that as well. Okay, there's a discussion right now around zone 2 training when it comes to mitophagy, autophagy, and its ability to be the best way to increase mitophagy, right? Exercise of any type increases mitophagy, not just zone 2 training. Okay. So when we look at the impact of what you're doing, is it better to do zone 2 training? Or what if I get a medicine ball and I do some wall balls for 10 minutes? I'm going to get my heart rate up. I'm going to get full body movement. I'm going to get about 3 or 4 different essential movements in. I'm going to work at least 2 different metabolic pathways. I'm going to increase cardio capacity. I'm going to increase a whole bunch of effects of exercise. Okay, muscular strength, muscle protein synthesis is going to kick in at the end in recovery. I'm going to increase the ability of my body to utilize glycogen, increase my body's ability to convert fat into glycogen. So there's a lot of other things that go into doing a functional movement at high intensity that is going to give me 10 or 15 benefits in the same amount of time that doing 20 minutes or 40 minutes in less time, really, than doing 20 minutes or 40 minutes of zone 2 training is going to do for you. So in answer to your question, Lori, zone 2 training is something that can be used to improve your ability to oxidize fat. It is not the solution for improving metabolic function. Okay, it's just not how I see it. Hope that answers your question. Do it. I like to use zone 2 training in the beginning or end of a workout as a warm-up or part of a cool down, but the actual work that you're doing should be something that includes moving your muscles, range of motion, intensity from a weight perspective or a speed perspective or a complexity of movement perspective. Challenge your brain, challenge your metabolism, challenge your muscles. And that's what a workout should be all about. All right, hope that answers your question. You bet, Lori, anytime. All right, guys, any other questions we got here? Let's see who else has popped on. Bubbles has no rules. What's up, Lisa? Paige Fleming is on. Natalie, Lucia, Coffee Lover. What's up, Coffee Lover? Almost Zero. My Joy Coach. Keto Coach E. What's up, Keto Coach E? Haven't seen that name in a while, man. Hope everything's going okay for you. Hope to see you at Antithetic Baltimore, July 14th to 15th. It'd be awesome for you to be there. Bring all your friends. Anybody that's in the Maryland area, don't forget we have our conference July 14th to 15th. It's a Friday afternoon to evening and then all day Saturday. We've got a ton of great speakers. We got some good sponsors. We're going to have food for you Friday night, food for you Saturday. Come have a great time. It's going to be a blast. All right. Let's see. So things to talk about. It's one of those things. I got so many things to talk about. Sometimes I don't even know what I want to start with. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about a topic that's come up a couple times in the past week or two with clients and with other people I've been talking to. And that is accepting where you are. There's a little bit of tough love in the conversation that I have to have with clients sometimes about you are where you are because that the decisions and the actions that you've taken. This is where you are. You have to accept it. Stress. Okay. A lot of the challenges that I help people deal with in their journey have to do with their resistance to accepting their current reality. Okay. You can't have a vision for where you want to go if you don't acknowledge where you are. So you have to acknowledge where you are. You have to acknowledge how you got where you are. What are the things that I've done? What are the decisions I've made? What are the perceptions that I have about the world? What are the belief systems that I'm living my life by? You have to understand what those are and accept them if you want to change. You can't change something you don't understand. Okay, so a lot of the struggle that people have is they're trying to change things that they haven't accepted or done the internal work or taken the time to understand why they're doing them in the first place. If you don't know why you're doing this, then you can't change it to go do that. You got to understand it first. You got to understand yourself. What are your motivations? What are your thought processes? What are the things you believe? And why are you doing these things? Part of that is acknowledging and understanding that there's no wrong answer. Okay? There is no, I just had this conversation with Debbie Potts on her podcast. The word should needs to come out of everyone's vocabulary. There is no should. I should do this. I should do that. This is what I should do. No, it's either this is what I want to do or this is what I don't want to do. That's all there is to it, guys. You either want to do something or you don't want to do something. The only should that really exists is what the pressure, the perception, or the expectations you're putting on yourself for something you know you want to do, but you also know that you don't want to do it because you rather do this instead, or because that's too hard and you don't want to put the effort in, or whatever thing you got going on in your head. Okay. I want to do this. I like, when you say I should do something, this is what you're really saying. I like how that looks, but I don't want to stop doing this. That's what you're saying. So every time you say I should do something, stop and recognize what you're really saying. You're not saying you should do something. You're saying, I like how this looks, but I like doing this better. And you're making a decision. You're making a choice to do something you are comfortable with. You're making a choice to stay in your comfort zone. If you want that new life, you have to get outside that comfort zone. And it becomes I want to live here. I don't want to live here. Okay. Now, again, this is the cool part. There's no wrong answer. If you decide this is where you want to live, that is absolutely 110% your choice. You can live there. No one can tell you otherwise. That is your choice. Okay. Don't complain about it. That's the only caveat. You have given up the right. I mean, technically, no, but in essence, what do you have to complain about if you've made the decision to be there? This is your choice. You've decided you want to do this versus this. You've decided not to step outside of your comfort zone and to settle for whatever you have going on in your life. And that's fine. If you're not happy there, that's on you. Okay. This is what I'm talking about with acceptance. You got to accept where you are, guys. Okay. Got a question. Karen Harrington. Do you have a good hamstring exercise on your site? Found out quickly in yoga. I'm lacking hamstring strength. Okay. Karen, what's going on? Do you have a good hamstring exercise on your site? I found out quickly in yoga. I'm lacking strength there yesterday per instructor. Okay. So there's a ton of great hamstring exercises you can do. Good mornings, deadlifts, hamstring curls, banded hamstring curls on a machine, glute bridges. There's a bazillion of them. So I do have a bunch of them on my YouTube channel, Karen. If you go, I think for beginners, the ones you probably want to look at would be glute bridges and banded hamstring curls. That would be a start. If you have access to machines, you could get on a leg curl machine, a hamstring curl machine, and do those. But I think the easiest thing you can do it right at home in your living room is glute bridges would be a great place to start. Okay, and I do have those videos on my YouTube channel. All right, hope that answers your question, Karen. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Melanie's asking, curious your thoughts about Pilates reformer training for fat loss. I'm over 50 and want to protect joints. Okay, so Melanie, you just confounded the question with two different things. Are you looking for fat loss or do you want to protect joints? What are you looking to do? But here's the deal. No exercise is good for fat loss. Okay. The purpose of exercise is to improve how your body functions and help you manage physical and external stress that you get in your life. That is the purpose of exercise. The purpose of exercise is not fat loss. Fat loss can be a result of good exercise. Fat loss can be a result of good nutrition, but that is not the purpose. Okay. I want to be very clear on this, guys. Anybody listening to this, extra fat on your body is not a problem. What's causing the extra fat is the problem. Okay? That's what exercise, that's what proper nutrition will fix. Okay? Fix your metabolic function. how your body functions. Remember, your metabolism, guys, is every single function of your body. It encompasses your physiology, your biology, and your neurology. It is not simply how your body burns fuel. It's hormone production, it's growing hair, it's muscle protein synthesis, it's lymphatic system, okay? It's cardiovascular system, it's your digestive system, it's your gut health, it's your microbiota, okay? It's brain function, it's neurogenesis, right? It's thyroid function, it's adrenal function, it's all of these things. It's the function of your genitals, okay? Every single function of your body is your metabolism. When something in that whole puzzle piece is wrong, we start getting inflammation, we start getting excess body fat, we start getting autoimmune issues, we start getting dysbiosis, gut dysbiosis, we start getting hypertension, we start getting high triglycerides. This is where all these metabolic syndrome things come into play, okay? Fix metabolism, fix your weight. Cool. Hope that answers your question, Melanie. Side note, Pilates reformers will kick your butt. Okay. As an exercise choice of a way to get started, I think it's a fantastic way to go. Okay. It's a great way to go. All right. Let's see here. Who else we got on the Instagram? Hey, Michelle, what's going on? Michelle's on. Kelly Coates is on. Nana Spin 5. Meet possibilities. I like that. All right. Scott McD, Reggie Atwood. All right. We got some more people on here. We got it. Melanie says, feels challenging to fix hormone production in the midst of onset. I'm so glad you brought this up, Melanie. All right. Melanie said, for anybody on Instagram, Melanie said, feels challenging to fix hormone production in the midst and the onset of menopause. Okay. Number one, you probably need more protein, Melanie. I don't know your specific situation, but you probably need more protein. Your thyroids are taking over, okay, for your ovaries. Your thyroid hormones come from amino acids. You need more protein in order to support your transition into menopause. I don't care what anybody tells you. You need fat too, but you need protein. Never, ever, ever substitute or prioritize one macronutrient, fat or protein for the other, okay? Essential nutrients. Carbs are not essential. We can just ignore those, okay? So fat is essential, protein is essential. You need them both individually for the things that they do. They are not tied to each other. So if you're getting more fat, that's great. If it's working for you, fantastic. Don't skimp on the protein. You still need more protein. Okay, that's number one. Number two, start strength training today. Get on that Pilates reformer and start doing something today to build muscle. Muscle is going to help you manage the hormones that you have raging in your body right now. Exercise, build muscle, get protein, try to get more sleep. I know that could be challenging during this time, but try to get as much as you can, and you will see drastic changes. If you're curious, go to, where can you go to get this? Melanie, I want you to go to my website, coachbronson.com. Either go to the blog or go to the About Me page that has my bio and all my information on it, okay? That might be the easiest one because it's right there on the page. If you go to the About Me, go to About in the menu, go to Coach Bronson, About Coach, go to, at the bottom of the page, there's a link to a case study that we did last year with 25 women all over the age of 50 who were peri and postmenopausal. Okay. And we demonstrated for 8 weeks how a ketogenic diet, functional fitness training, decreased body fat, increased lean mass, and reduced a whole long list of symptoms of menopause. Every single one of those ladies in that case study saw an improvement in their quality of life by lifting weights, exercising more, getting more protein, and cutting out carbs. Okay. So it can be done. It can definitely help you. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% solution, but the more you can stick to a whole foods, animal-based diet, get your protein, get your fat, start lifting weights or doing something to build muscle, I think you're going to see huge changes, Melanie. And I want you to let me know how that goes. Okay. Stay in touch. You're asking all the good questions, Melanie. You get this gold star for today. So Melanie followed up her question with, so helpful. Thank you. Would BCAA supplement count for extra protein intake? No, it will not. Okay. If you want a full complement of the proteins, protein profile that your body needs, ruminant meat will be your best option. Okay. Because I want you to also get the micronutrients. If we're just talking protein, then you can eat chicken all day and be fine. You can eat shrimp all day and be fine. The nutrition there isn't as high. I want to go nutrient dense. So I want you to eat red meat, ruminant animal meat as much as possible. Get your protein from real food sources and you'll do much better. Okay. Because again, it's not just the protein. There's a lot of enzymatic functions. The combination of fat that comes with the meat is great for your insulin management. It helps with blood sugar, helps with satiety. There's a bunch of things that kind of go into the whole package. When you eat whole foods, animal-based, when you eat whole food, animal-based food, how does that work? Animal-based whole foods. Haha, there we go. Animal-based whole foods, you get a much better, complete, comprehensive package of what your body needs than when you just go for a shake, because it's like one proportion of a whole puzzle and it's missing the rest. So your body doesn't treat it the same way. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Melanie. Eat more steak. Yay. Or eggs. Eggs are great too. Beef and eggs. That's your answer. That's really the answer for everything, but we don't want to say that. We don't want to say it. We want to scare anybody away. All right. Alan's asking a question. All right, YouTube, you guys are falling behind again. I'm sorry, not YouTube. YouTube, you guys are rocking. Instagram, you guys are falling behind again. I get some questions in here. Let's go. All right, Alan's asking a question. I'm at 19.8% body fat and want to cut to 15 for a marathon race. I lift, run, and carnivore. Tips, please. Okay, so Alan, my first question is, why do you need to be at a specific percentage for a race? That's my question. Are you looking at a weight factor to speed thing? Is there some specific physics thing you're trying to address here? I'd like to know what that's all about. In general, reducing body fat, you can just titrate your fat intake down. It doesn't need to be drastic, a little bit at a time. Make sure you're still getting enough, that you're fueling your workouts, that you're fueling your hormone production, that you're getting your satiety and your insulin response the way it needs to be. But, managing your fat is a lever. It can be used as a lever. So that's really what that's all about. Like if you just want to cut some body fat before your race, drop your fat down a little bit and you should lose some body fat. Again, manage it, control it. Don't go from 150 to 60. Okay. But that's really what that's all about. Make sure you're getting enough no matter what you're doing, guys. This is another thing I want everyone to understand. When you're managing body composition using your macro adjustments, okay, never go so extreme that you're not giving your body what it needs. What your body needs is always the number one most important thing to address. How your body looks comes second. Make sure you're staying healthy and then manage within that range, not outside that range. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Alan. Run lighter, run faster is what he said. Yeah, he's just trying to lose some weight to run faster. Yeah. So another way you can do that, Alan. Okay, here's another thing to do. Start getting some sprinting in. Start looking at building some additional muscle fiber. It won't add a lot of weight, but it'll make your running easier. Okay, that's another thing you can do as well. But again, you're just managing body composition. Cut your fat down a little bit. All right, we got a couple more questions on YouTube. We actually got a question. Let's see. Judy says, thanks for the reminders and inspiration. You bet, Judy. I want to hear how you're doing, Judy. I haven't talked to you in a while. Hopefully things are going well. Sticking with it. Michelle says, eat all the meat. Mom to go says, best lifting to do with bone on bone knee. Okay. Supervised, hopefully, would be number one. Any lifting supervised. Have someone watch what you're doing and give you some ideas on what you can do. Outside of that, starting with body weight, starting with what movements can you do. There's doing things in a modified fashion, supported, where you're making sure you're getting the motion so that you're not putting too much pressure on your knees. It's really kind of hard to explain that, I think. My recommendation would be to find a physical therapist who can teach you some movements that you can do, or a personal trainer that has experience in this kind of situation that can give you some experience. You may not need to go to him or her on a regular basis, but get a session, get some hands-on. How do I do this? Should it feel like? And this is the thing. What should it feel like if I'm doing these movements? If I'm deadlifting or squatting or doing lunges or whatever it may be, how does it feel when I'm doing it correctly so that I don't put extra pressure on my knees? Learning what that's like will help you do it on your own and then transfer to other movements as you progress, where you can learn what you're doing and how it's affecting your knees. So building that mind-muscle connection, building that proprioception of feeling the effect on your body will probably do the most. And I think that's probably best done by getting face-to-face with somebody for at least 1 or 2 sessions. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Mom to Go. All right. Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. She said she's in PT. That is fantastic. If you're already in PT, you've already got someone to go to. That is fantastical. Awesome. Keto Coach Neil. What's going on, Neil? All right. We got some questions on the Instagrams. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Let me find our list. Okay. So Alan had his question about body fat for marathon. Get fit. Feeling defeated. Blood work says I'm metabolically healthy. Okay. Let's read this. All right. Feeling defeated. Blood work says I'm metabolically healthy, but still 30% body fat. Ugh. Been keto carnivore for years. Worked well in the beginning. Now it seems difficult. I'm 52-year-old female. Okay. Get fit. It's a common refrain. It's a common story. I hear it often. It's really kind of what got me into doing what I'm doing now. I run into people every single day that have been focusing on the nutrition and they're stuck. They're feeling like, what is going on? Just like you said, I'm feeling defeated. I'm frustrated. I can't get any better. I can't get where I want to be. What do I need to do? Okay. What are you doing for fitness? Okay. The first question to ask if you're stuck is, what am I doing and what do I need to do differently? Okay. I've been doing this for years. It hasn't got me where I want to go. So obviously this isn't the answer. What do I need to change? What do I need to add to this, take away from this, go to something different? What are the different pieces that are in this that I need to change to help me move to the next level? Okay. In many cases, for many people, it's learning how to lift weights and build muscle. Building muscle supports the ketogenic diet. Building muscle supports what you're doing for your nutrition. Improving how your physical function works, improving the function, the physical ability of your body supports the work you've been doing on your nutrition. And now the two can work together and it will launch you to the next level. Rocket ship. Okay. When you start doing something for your fitness, you will go places you never thought you could, because now you're actually using your body in a way that the nutrition can say, oh, now I got something to do. Okay. Bring them together and you take off like a rocket ship. All right. I hope that helps get fit. I don't know what you're doing currently for strength training. I don't know what you're doing for your nutrition. There might be some tweaks on the nutrition side, but a lot of times it's a combination of fitness and nutrition. So strength training, not cardio, not a lot of cardio. Most women that I deal with in their 40s and up, I tell them to stop doing cardio. You don't need to be doing it, particularly every day. I have women that come to me that I work with that are like, I'm doing cardio 4 days a week and I'm trying to get 15,000 steps every day. I'm like, what? No wonder you're stuck. Your body's never getting a chance to rest. You're not building any metabolic function. You're just wearing it down all the time. So working in a good functional fitness training where you're getting metabolic conditioning, where you're getting strength training, where you're getting full body movement and improving all the different areas that your body needs to improve. Okay. That's what we do in the F2 method. That's what we do in my programs. And that's what works. Again, just like that case study I talked about. That's what works to get your metabolism going and get you unstuck from where you are. Hope that answers your question. Get Fit. Thank you for asking. Melanie, you bet. Thank you so much yourself. I saw Kevin the Visionary. What's up, man? All right. I saw somebody ask a question here. Hold on. Let's see. Judy says she's spending most time outdoors. Nice. Good, good, good. Hiking and plan to add a backpack for resistance. Guys, weighted walking is so underrated. A lot of people come to me like, how do I get started? And I say, go for a walk. Well, I've been walking. Okay, carry something. And they look at me like, what? I'm like, carry something. Grab a jug of water and carry it. Carry a jug of water. If you haven't tried carrying a jug of water for a couple miles, tell me that thing doesn't get heavy as hell by the time you're done. Okay? Get a backpack. Get a weight vest. That is probably the simplest thing that you can do at any age to improve overall body strength and endurance and stamina. Okay? While you're walking, start carrying stuff. It's going to blow your mind how much that helps overall in your progress. Way to go, Judy. I love it. Setting the example. Neil got some new minimalist speakers. You got minimalist speakers. Yeah. Sneakers and a new bench. Lift heavy things, he says. Hashtag lift heavy things. Nice. Love it. All right. We got some questions on the YouTube. So Get Fit asked a question. Melanie said, thank you. Scott said, all right, this is a classic question that's been making the rounds for the past couple of years, actually. Scott says, 40-year insulin resistant, 3-year keto, and a year carnivore. A1C going up recently. Reason, ? Nobody really knows. There's 3 or 4 different theories about why A1C goes up. I'm not going to get into all of them because they're all theories. Nobody knows for sure. What I do know, and this is something that I learned recently, as long as you're, I'd say, let's say under 6. I'll say under 6. As long as you're under 6, I don't know what your number is, Scott. If you're under 6, I wouldn't worry about it. That's just my experience. What I've seen in the population, okay, I've been between 5.5 and 5.7 for the last 5 years. Okay, I don't have any problems. Never been a problem for me. Okay, now I've been healthy for the past 5 years. I have more muscle. I'm active. I exercise on a regular basis. I'm doing things. I'm not just looking at nutrition to solve all my problems. So there's a couple different levels of nuance that go into the conversation. For somebody who is still metabolically unsound or has metabolic syndrome, for someone who's not active, for someone who still has a lot of body fat or other issues going on in their body, then an A1C over 6 could potentially be a problem. And it might be a problem. If you are active, if you're building lean mass, if you're working on your overall fitness and function, and you're making those improvements, and all that stuff is getting better or has gotten better, and you're looking at 5.7, you probably don't have anything to worry about, right? If it's a picture into a window of management of a condition. So I didn't realize this, and this is something that a lot of people don't know, and I didn't know this until recently. I always thought that A1C was the indicator of diabetes. Well, it's actually not. It's a tool that is used to manage someone who is diagnosed with diabetes. Okay, so if you look it up, and go ahead and look it up, I did this myself a few weeks ago. Look up what markers determine diabetes, and A1C is at the bottom of the list. Okay, there's a bunch of other things that go on top of it that have to happen. Check, in order for them to say, yes, you have diabetes. Okay, I think it's become a lazy man's marker. Because your A1C is high, you probably have insulin resistance and you're going to get diabetes. Boom, done. Super easy, one number anybody has to worry about, and they can freak everybody out into taking insulin and buying insulin. Okay, is that really the thing? I don't know. I'm pre-diabetic technically. I don't know. You tell me. So I think when you look at your A1C in conjunction with triglycerides, HOMA-IR, look at your C-reactive protein and your CRP, right? Look at all these other things. What's your liver function? There's a whole bunch of markers that go into your overall metabolic performance and health. other than just your A1C. If all those other things are great and your A1C is at 5.7 or 5.8, I don't know. If it were me, I wouldn't worry about it, but that's me. Okay. Christina's asking a question. I hope that answers your question, Scott. I'm not saying don't worry about it, right? I can't give you medical advice or tell you what you need to do. I can just tell you that from what I've seen, many people who have improved their health on a carnivore diet go up. They're 5 and 5, 5.7, 5.8 is normal for a low carb, no carb, mostly animal meat person. That's just what I've seen. Okay. So I highly recommend you do your research, talk to your doctor, talk to any other doctors you can get listen to you and find out and make your decision accordingly. I can just tell you what I've seen and what I've experienced in my experience as a coach. Hope that answers your question. The real Christina Abbott, the real one, not the fake one, the real one. Can you have diabetes and doctors not detect from a blood test? I don't know really how to answer that question, Christina. I think, like I said, there's a handful of things that they look at before they say someone has diabetes. So it's more than just a blood test that they're looking at. I would think that the protocol, not being a doctor, that the protocol used to verify if someone has diabetes includes a lot of other things and tests, and it's more than just a blood test. So I would say they might miss it if it's just a blood test. And it's likely if all they're looking at is your blood, there might be other, I don't know what they're looking at in your blood, what blood test, right? So you can do a blood test and there's 18 million different things you're testing in that blood. So which blood test are you talking about? So I would say in general, if you have diabetes, you're probably going to find out you have diabetes. All right. Hope that answers your question. Kind of, sort of. Okay. Let's see. Jackie just joined. What's up, Jackie? Alan says he's going to cut out the bacon and pork belly. Oh, that'll do it. Cut out the bacon and pork belly. Whoop, that'll definitely drop your fat down. Start sprinting. Sprinting is fantastic. And remember, guys, sprinting. All right. We hear about sprinting all the time. Sprinting is the miracle exercise. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to run. You can sprint running. You can sprint on a rower. You can sprint on an air bike. You can sprint on a elliptical if you had to. You can sprint on a treadmill. Like you can sprint in the pool. Like sprinting is just moving as far as possible, as fast as possible in a short amount of time. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. So you can do that in a lot of different ways. Muay Thai fat guy. That is probably the best handle I have seen in months. I love that. All right, let's see what other questions do we got. Andre, hey coach, your videos are so helpful. You should have more subscribers. All right, Andre Fraser says, hey coach Bronson, your videos are so helpful. You should have more subscribers. I should have more subscribers. Yes, all of you that are watching right now, if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe. Thank you very much, Andre. That means a lot. I appreciate it. Go tell all your friends. Everybody, go tell all your friends they need to come to my channel and subscribe to my channel. All right. Andre, you get a gold star for the day too, man. Appreciate it. All right. Get Fit is asked. Oh, I got a bunch of questions. Whoa, hold on. Instagram, you guys are falling behind again. Okay. Let's see here. Get Fit's asking another question. What is your opinion of PSMF? Okay. So protein sparing modified fast. I've talked about it before. Maria and I are friends. We talk fairly regularly at this point. We got to spend the time with each other in Costa Rica filming for the Reverse TV series. And we just hit it off. And it's been fantastic getting to know her and spend time and talking with her and Craig and do stuff with them. I think PSMF is a very useful tool. I use it with my clients sometimes. Okay. But it is a tool. It is not a crutch. And often people use it before they need to. They use it longer than they need to. And they don't do it correctly. All right. So if you go to my YouTube channel, I actually did a video with Maria. It's on my interviews playlist where we talk about PSMF and the right way to do it. And I actually have two videos with her. One we did while we were in Costa Rica. The other one we did afterwards, we just did an actual full interview where we talk about a bunch of stuff. So Get Fit, I would say go to my YouTube channel, which you're on right now. Go to this channel, find the interviews playlist, and look for the interview I did with Maria, and we talk about it in there. Okay. I think it's great. It can definitely be a useful tool. I think many people use it when they don't really need to. If you've already lost a bunch of weight, it is not a hack to lose weight. Okay. If you have a ton of weight to lose, if you're 100 pounds, 150, 200 pounds overweight, and you've got 100 pounds of fat on your body that you're trying to cut, PSMF can be great. Okay. It can be a way to break a stall, but I think there's other things that can work there too. I have a client right now. Normally breaking a stall for me would include changing workout routine a little bit, increasing protein and dropping fat some. Okay. PSMF is dropping fat and increasing protein a little bit, but without it's on the extreme side. So the workout doesn't work. She has an injury. She hasn't been able to work out. So we haven't been able to include the type of workouts that I would want to include to help her break her stall. So we went PSMF to kind of use that tweak, that tool to help her break that stall. And I think it worked. So it's a tool, use it wisely. Okay. It's not a hammer everything's a hammer, right? Put the hammer down, grab the screwdriver when you need it, then put the screwdriver down and grab the pliers when you need them. Use the right tool for the right thing. Okay. All right. We got a long question here. Let's see. Christina asked about, she said, okay, glad to know it. She was asking about the blood work. Christina says you have amazing videos. Thank you very much, Christina. I look forward to them all the time. I just went back to the gym at 57. That's awesome. Yay, Christina. And I'm excited to build back up. You focus on building, and I love it. That's awesome. Yes. I want you guys to build better lives. That's what this is about. I was talking to an old friend of mine who reached out for help today, and I recommended that she get my book. And I guess she looked at it. She responded back to me. She's like, I don't need to lose any more weight. I've lost a lot of weight already. And I said, it's not about losing weight. This is about empowering yourself and learning how to take the principles of health and nutrition, get your mind right, so that you can then imagine and live and set a plan and a goal and a path forward to build the life that you want for yourself. It's not about how you look. It's not about how much you weigh. It's about how well can you live every single day. That's what we're looking to do here. Okay. Let's see. Melanie says, I'm sad because I love doing dance cardio every day. Okay. I'll try weighted walking with a good playlist. Do that. You can boogie while you walk. Boogie while you walk. All right. I want to see video of you both boogieing while you walk, Melanie. Andre said, I actually got a weighted vest. How often should I use it? By the way, I lift 3 times a week. Okay. So a weighted vest, depending on how heavy you go, I would say once a week for a good distance. So during the summer, when it gets warmer, I usually throw on my vest. It's depending on what I'm doing. It's between 25 and 30 pounds usually. And I'll go for about 2.5, 3 miles. Okay. That's kind of my average workout with the vest. And I go on trails. So I don't do a loop. I go on hiking trails. So I'll do 2.5, 3 miles on a trail, and however long that takes me. And then I'll come in. I'm usually sweating my butt off. Everything hurts, but it feels good. It's a blast. I don't walk slow. Then that's for me. I'm actually trying to walk at a pace and maintain a good pace the entire time. Wherever you're at, maybe you get a weight vest and you put a 5-pound plate in there and that's all you use, and you go for a mile and you come home. That's great. Maybe it's all flat the entire time. That's perfectly fine. So kind of just go with what you feel like, man. You may feel like you can get 2 days a week in, and that's fantastic, but if it starts affecting your existing program, then you might need to cut it back. So you just got to figure out, what are you trying to get out of it, and make sure that you're getting that out of it, but you're not messing up the other stuff that you're trying to do as well. So it's always an evaluation. Every decision you guys make, from your fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, work, whatever, schedule, routine, is this working for what I'm trying to do? That's it. If it's not, something needs to change. If it is, keep doing what you're doing. All right. There's no right or wrong. Is this working for what I'm trying to do? That's the question you should ask yourself. And then if the answer is yes, then you're doing great. All right. All right. 5.8 sounds good. Hey, 5.8 A1C. That's, again, I'm 5'5" to 5'7". I've probably gone up to 5'8". I don't really worry about it. 58 pounds skeletal muscle mass. Okay. Get Fit says 58 pounds skeletal muscle mass, lift 3 to 4 times a week. Okay. So I don't know what that is, like how much you weigh, what's your skeletal muscle mass percentage, but I'm glad you brought it up. Okay. Recommendations for women, skeletal muscle mass. There's a caveat I'm going to throw in here for some women. Okay. But I'm going to give you recommendations first. I like to get women to at least 40% skeletal muscle mass. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should have 40 pounds of skeletal muscle. Okay. Men, I like you to be at 45% skeletal muscle mass, right? That's a starting point. Okay. Women, this may happen with men. I don't see it that often. It mostly happens with women. 40% is easy for some women because they are underweight. I'm going to say it again. 40% skeletal muscle mass is easy for some women because they are underweight. Many women that I talk to, many women that I work with or have had conversations with have been under eating for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They are 10, 15, 20 pounds under the weight that they need to be at in order to be healthy. And gaining 20 pounds scares the crap out of them. And when I tell them they need to stop counting their macros, they need to stop tracking everything and just eat until they can't eat anymore because they need the muscle, they need the protein, they need to get more weight on their body, it freaks them out. Okay. So for women particularly, you may be at 40%. You may be at 46% right now in your skeletal muscle mass, but it's very likely, especially if you are small, 105 pounds or under, 110 pounds, 115 pounds. Okay. It's very likely that you are 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds lighter than you should be for your height. And I highly recommend you considering allowing some body fat, allowing your body to heal. Okay. Eating more protein, trying to keep building that muscle. Okay. You can afford some body fat at this point. We need to get your body to a weight where it's not stressed all the time. Okay. A lot of these women come in underweight. They're not under muscled for the body composition they have. They got plenty of muscle. The problem is their overall muscle and their overall fat to their bone structure and their height is lower than it should be. So they are under everything. And that's a problem. That's where they have health, thyroid issues. That's where they have energy issues. That's why they have stress issues and issues with organs. I've seen women that had issues with organ failure. There's just a bunch of stuff that happens when you undernourish yourself for so long. You women particularly, eat more food. Please just eat more food. All right. I hope that helps. Let's see. Intentional Carnivore. What's up, brother? Many tools in the toolbox. Good stuff. All right. We're going to be doing a podcast together sometime, right? Is that this week? Make sure I got my calendar right here. Hold on. Intentional Carnivore, 2 days. All right. So everybody, if you're not following Intentional Carnivore, go find Intentional Carnivore on YouTube, on Instagram, and subscribe to his page because we're doing, I think it's a live, right? I think we're doing a live on Thursday, the 22nd on his channel. If it's not a live, then it'll be a video recording. He'll post it later. But if it's a live, Thursday, the 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern, I think we're going live. Okay. He says, yes, it is a live show. Sweet. Awesome. I hope to see all of you guys there. Intentional Carnivore. If you guys don't remember Intentional Carnivore from last week, 245 pounds in a year. Gone. Whoop. Disappeared. Out in the middle of nowhere. Who knows where it went? Okay. Check it out. We're going to talk about that and a bunch of other stuff this week. Cool. Thanks for hopping on Intentional. All right, guys, I think that is it for the day. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for showing up. And again, this is all about you guys. I want to help you guys move forward. So whatever questions you have, feel free to message me and ask questions ahead of the show. Every Tuesday, I go live at 8 o'clock Eastern. So feel free to message me and ask questions. I'll put them up, or you can just join and ask questions live, which I love that as well. So thank you very much, guys. I will see you next week. Peace out. Oh, before I go, go get my book. If you haven't gotten the book yet, Ultimate Ketogenic Fitness, it's on Amazon. All of the stuff we talked about tonight is in there. I think pretty much everything we talked about, I cover in the book on some level, as well as the concepts behind health, nutrition, fitness, mindset, quality of life, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Check it out. UltimateKetogenicFitness.com. No, what am I doing? That's my old website. Ultimate Ketogenic Fitness book on Amazon. All right. See you guys.